So, hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of our management interaction series. So, today we have Landmark Immigration Consultants Limited. We have the promoter himself, Mr. Jasmeet Singh Bhatia. So, diving into it, Jasmeet sir, hello and thank you for joining us. So, getting into the company and your IPO is coming. So, I would like to ask you that could you please just give a background about yourself and about the company itself so our viewers know what the company is about?
Sure. Thank you so much, Dhruf, for having this meeting. And I'm really happy to explain our company that what is our product and how do we work. So basically, see, it is a dream to make this sector structured. It is our dream to make this sector structured. So when you tell about somebody going for education abroad, people get really scared. When we go abroad, then don't know how the consultant will charge us and how this process will go. So our aim to be in this sector is to make this structure. There should be a structure in going abroad, and our revenue is totally dependent upon the universities, colleges, public universities and colleges working with us. So we do not charge any student firstly. So secondly, there is exorbitant amount of money sometimes is being charged from the student. So we have that vision when we started that we should be making this transparent to the students and the parents and giving them services which they require as per their requirement. So sometimes students want to go to XY country, but suppose he's not eligible, but he tends to pay big amount of money to any other consultant, which is he says that I will send you to suppose Australia and he's not eligible for Australia. So our vision is that we should have a transparency and clarity in this industry which sometimes is not clear to the parents and the students. So we have that vision कि ये चीज हम clear करके ही चलेंगे और उस vision के साथ इतने सालों से we are working and we have been successful in winning our clients you can trust, which is really important.
Fair enough. So just to put into perspective for the listeners in a easier format, a landmark immigration is into global consultancy of global education consultancy as well as immigration consultancy. So if a student wants to go for a college in a foreign country, so landmark immigration helps them from the scratch to their admission process as well as the immigration consultancy if any student opts to. So basically, this is the small snippet of what the company does. So, sir, wanted to understand that the company was founded in 2010. So, what inspired you to start this particular company and how has it evolved since then?
See, we started very small. We started with 3 employees in 2010, and that time also when we started, we were really surprised to see that this sector, specifically education abroad sector, is people are being charged, as I told you before also कि कुछ भी पैसे लिए जाते हैं बच्चों से, कुछ भी गाइड कर दिया जाता है, कुछ भी उसको कह दिया जाता है, and people trust those people who do not have even valid visas for that country. Suppose there is a consultant sending you to Australia, but he hasn't visited that university or college in Australia. So my personal belief is that if I am doing a college or a university abroad, first part is that we do a due diligence ourselves. We visit that college, we visit that university, we see what kind of services are being offered to a student. So that if I am not confident, we are sending students of age 18, 19, 20, which are pretty young, and they do not get services abroad, which can be really tough for a student when he visits. Suppose, so there was a lot of news before we started in 2008, 2009. You must have heard of it that they were like small colleges in UK and Australia with, two small rooms and running and taking students from India or abroad. So they were shut down completely by UK government and Australia government. So the consultant themselves haven't visited any university or colleges and they are guiding students. So our vision is very clear. First of all, do due diligence for the colleges and universities, then only guide to the students and give them proper guidance about what kind of services the college will offer and what kind of services we will offer. So we completely take care of all the step by step. They need to shortlist the university, we will guide them. They are eligible for certain country, we will guide them. And they need an education qualification, so there are certain things like budget, English requirement, their course selection. We will guide them step by step. And after that, their visa application, like what kind of, documents are needed in their visa application, we will guide them so that we maintain our visa success rate more than 70%.
Fair enough. That's an impressive number. So there are a lot of players. बहुत सारे player हैं जो ये कर रहे हैं. So how does it set us apart? Landmark, how does they set apart from the competitors?
See, I'll tell you, there are a lot of players. There are thousands of players. But if you tell me that people who are doing in a structured way, I cannot count more than 20. If you tell me to count right now, that there are how many players who are doing it in a structured way, and they are giving good guidance to the students, who are having more than 100 tie-ups with government universities and colleges across. I'll tell you, there are not more than 20 in
Okay.
India. I'm not talking about, around the globe. There are not more than 20 agents who are doing it in a structured way. So consultants doing it in a structured way are very, very less. But if you tell me there are like shops opened up across India to send everybody abroad, they are looking at an easy money, which is not at all a consultancy. That is just spoiling somebody's future for money.
Fair
So
enough. So we are
we
operating in a structured manner in
Yes, so we
comparison
are
to the
not
other.
looking at easy money. See, we feel that money will follow you if you're doing something in a right manner. So that kind of vision we have, that every success follows. If you're putting your hard work, you're doing it in a right way, we get a lot of reference. So reference from a student, if he's having good services from us and he's gone to a good university or a college, he will send us 20 of his people from, friends. He says that Landmark has given me a good service. You must go to Landmark.
Fair enough. So with a focus on Canada, what trends do you observe in the student migration and the PR applications?
See, I'll tell you, Canada is very, very important. Seeing that we are having certain diplomatic issues with Canada, but I see Canada is a really, really important destination for Indians. I'll tell you why. Because see, Canada is very, very not developed. 84% of the Canada is not developed. So you see, right now there are a lot of hues and cries we hear that there are no jobs and there are no scopes in Canada. But I feel it is very, very strategic for Indians, and it has a scope that Indians can settle there. First of all, their acceptance rate is very, very high. If you tell me there is racism, if you tell me there is no racism in Canada. So I have been to Canada. I go to Canada twice, thrice a year. So I go to Germany, I go to US, everywhere where we have institutes, tie-ups, I visit. So if you tell me it is a strategic location, and Canada reduced the student numbers by 20-30%. So right now also Canada is looking at taking 4 lakh 40,000 students yearly globally. Out of that, I'll tell you, India has to play a very major role. So if you tell me there were 1 million students going abroad last year, so every bank and every financial institute looks at a 20 to 25% increase every year. Because see, if you tell me आज there is a 90% student, किसी बच्चे के 90% number आए हैं, so I'll tell you, in Chandigarh or Delhi or in Mumbai also, he can take admission in a government college. The answer is no. He will
Fair enough.
not get admission in a simple course like BCom. I was surprised this year cutoff in Stephens College, Delhi is 110%. They are taking 100% for marks and 10% for interview.
Wow. This is
So,
something astonishing.
so tell me that who is a 80% student is no longer required by any public college. So what he will do? He will go to private universities in India. So do you think the private universities in India will get him a lucrative job?
It's difficult.
The answer is no. So private universities are even charging equal to international education cost. So international education will give you exposure which you cannot get in India.
Fair
So there
enough.
are certain things, international education will give you how to manage money. First flight, when you take the first flight, it's like an eye opener. Whoever takes his first flight is going for tourism or studies or anything, it's like an eye opener. Then you have so many opportunities for you that if you get an international education, there's an international qualification or your resume, वो 2-3 लाख तो वहीं बढ़ जाएगा salary आपकी.
सही बात.
The communication will increase exorbitantly. Your financial management will be class apart. A student who is studying in India doesn't understand the financial management part until unless he is like 28 or 29 years. A student who's gone for international education at 18 years, I'll tell you, he'll give advice to his father after 2, 3 years of international education.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So, if you could explain how many business segments we are in and how much each segment contributes to our top line, so people can understand that how much business we are doing from each particular segment.
See, our complete focus, our 80 to 85% focus is on education. So is on education only. So right, if you tell me other parts, we are into training, we are into IELTS coaching, we are into, other kind of visas like students who have gone from us, they apply for their parents' visa, super visa, spousal PR, immigration. But that is our 10 to 17%, if you tell me 15 to 17% of our business. But our complete focus is on education. So education is our core part. If a student wanting to go to see, I'll tell you, like people were telling me that today Canada has some diplomatic issues, and tomorrow, right now, see Germany is on the boom. Everybody is looking at Germany as a top
Yes.
destination for education. So if a student is coming to me for Germany, I am going to Germany since past 10 years. So I'll send him to Germany. If a student is looking at USA, I'll send him to USA. So it is the requirement. So जो बच्चे की requirement है, we will do that. And I told you before also, the segment 1 million student का, which is tend to increase every year by 20 to 25%. And we are at 3,000 to 3,200 students yearly. So agar if you tell me our share is 0.3% or maybe less than that. So we are our target is to send 10,000 students abroad in coming 2, 3 years. Our target is 10,000, which is also not even, 1% of the market, not even 1% of the market. So we are at a comfortable position looking at growth year on year. And our object clause is really, really clear that what we are looking at.
Fair enough. And your numbers have shown, the numbers have shown it that your company has shown very good growth in recent years. So, what has been the contributing factor to it?
See, we have increased our team, so that is why we've increased our team. We've increased our sales professionals. We have increased our marketing people. We are doing more colleges and school tie-ups. We are doing, activities in small towns and cities where education abroad is like a taboo. I'll tell you, if you go to Bihar, I have clients from Bihar, and Bihar education abroad is something like a taboo. You send student to abroad? No, we are just looking at IAS officer or a government job. They don't have an idea. So I have a student who gone abroad from Bihar, and on their reference, I get a lot of students from Bihar. So there is an unexplored sector, UP, Bihar. I'll tell you, North India, Kerala and Gujarat. Apart from these three states, we have lot of to explore. People don't know about education abroad, and the scope of growth is immense. People actually don't know कि यार 10-15 लाख फीस देके हम बाहर पढ़ सकते हैं.
Okay.
They
So,
are ready to pay 10-15 लाख in India, which will get them admission only in private university, and sometimes those universities will not even get them jobs. So there is an ideal situation that we can grow more, and we have to impart education.
okay. So, could you also provide certain light on this topic that there's what would be the revenue bifurcation between the domestic and the export services, and like how do you plan to expand your international footprint?
See, our right now, if you tell me my revenue is mostly from colleges and universities, it is only if you tell me we get only commission parts from universities and colleges, that is more than 80%. And our revenue from domestic market will be 15 to 18% only. So
Okay.
most of the revenue which we have registered last year, that is the revenue in foreign currency abroad only. That's
Okay. And major country is Canada.
See, it is major country was Canada, but it is from Germany, it is from US, it is from UK also. See, like I told you, it's on demand. Today, student is asking for Canada, I'll give him Canada. Tomorrow, student will ask me Germany, I'll give him Germany. तो और मेरा शेयर आपको मैंने बताया है कि मैं तो लास्ट ईयर 3,500 बच्चे टारगेट था, इस साल मेरा 4,500 बच्चे टारगेट है, विच आई विल अचीव कंफर्टेबली। तो वो बहुत ही छोटा नंबर है विच वी आर लुकिंग एट, एंड विद दिस थिंग वी विल विन मोर ट्रस्ट। सो doing an IPO is like winning people's trust. People will know me more. If I'm a consultant, having 10, 15 offices, nobody knows me. So this will give me more recognition. People will know that they are doing right kind of business. They are the right people. So we want to become a household name. If somebody wants to, if you tell me right now, this industry is very, very unstructured.
Hmm.
So I want to become a household name that if somebody is looking at going abroad, उसके दिमाग में दो चार कंपनियों के नाम आए, अगर आए तो वो लैंडमार्क हो।
Fair enough.
लैंडमार्क
That
इमिग्रेशन शुड बी हाउसहोल्ड नेम, समबडी शुड गो ऑनलाइन एंड वो रजिस्टर मेरी वेबसाइट ही करे कि आई एम लुकिंग एट गोइंग अब्रॉड। या
and so your margins, the EBITDA margins have also improved significantly.
या
So what was the contributing factor in the margin front?
So as we increase the marketing, marketing activities across, you can say North India predominantly. So we increased marketing activities and we increase social media. So if you tell me what is lucrative right now, because the youngsters is our target audience. So and these days your youngsters take decision on their own. If they've taken a decision to study in India, nobody can send them abroad. And if they've taken decision to study abroad, nobody can make them study here. So youngster is a target audience, and most of the youngsters, these days, I'll tell you, 15 years ago, 14 years ago, when we started our business, see, I'll tell you, TV and newspaper was very lucrative. So there were some youngsters or they were under, and some parents were also looking at newspapers and going through the advertisements, and that was very, very lucrative. But I'll tell you, last 3, 4 years after, especially COVID, some methods of media are non-existent only. So I feel social media has given an edge. So last year, I'll tell you, social media marketing and social media reach has definitely given us the increment in our revenue and profits. So that played an instrumental role in that.
So when you say you started social media marketing, that is why volumes increased, and that is why that was the impact on the EBITDA, or how did?
We were the first one to I think so. We started our Facebook page back in 2013, which we started Facebook marketing in 2013. So we are doing social media marketing since that. But us time pe they were not much results. From past 2, 3 years, results have been more. So after COVID, nobody is looking at TV, nobody is looking at newspaper. So I feel social media has instrumentally played a big role in our growth. Yeah.
Fair enough. And when you say social media, you all have employed multiple marketing strategies, like be it seminars, be it social media. So social media has been the most effective strategy till now for you in terms of
No. So
business.
another strategy is seminars. We do a lot of seminars in different cities. We go to the city. We are in Karnal. We are in Ambala. Suppose we have an office in Vadodara. So we do a lot of seminars in the cities, and then we call students. So when then we call college and university representatives with us. So they participate, and then sometimes parents want to meet college and university representatives directly, and when they are fully satisfied, so it is better. So when we do those seminars, we get good results. So I'll tell you, seminars tapping small cities, small towns have also played a lot of role in our growth. And I'll tell you, we are doing seminars uh, from 2010. we
Okay.
have done we might have done small student seminars to big student seminars. If I'll tell you, maybe we will be doing like 50 seminars in a year. So every month we would have done like 4, 5 seminars here and there. Like we will go to a city, sit with students. If there are 40 people, we'll explain them the process. So that has also played a very, very a big role in our growth. So if you tell me in past 14 years, we might have done more than 1,000 seminars in various cities and towns.
Got it. So seminar is the more of a traditional and the ongoing channel, and social media is the new upcoming channel that you all are benefiting from.
Definitely.
Got it.
So, how do you perceive the evolving landscape of global education consultancy and also immigration services post pandemic?
See, post pandemic, there was a lot of, there was a lot of increase in interest of education abroad. I'll tell you, because see, certainly there was, we were the country where we were not able to handle, pandemic. I'll tell you, as per our government, we handled it, but I feel they were like lack of, handling the pandemic thing. And then then the parents were definitely looking at students going abroad. So there is a certain, I'll tell you, all the students who are going abroad are not looking at settling abroad. So there is 50% of the students are looking at settling abroad. 50% of the students are looking at gaining the experience and exposure and come back and do something big in India. And so after pandemic, I feel that this global education trends have increased significantly. But I'll tell you, there is I'll tell you, from past 1.5 years and 2 years, definitely there is kind of students I've seen who have come back from after they, got a job also, they came back to India. And I have seen students who came back to India and after 6 months they went back because they were not able to get good opportunities in India too. So I feel that this sector has a lot of growth. This sector has a lot of thing to evolve. As I told you, there is no education to parents. There is no education in some part of India. They don't even know that this format also exists. And agar exist karta bhi hai, when I tell you कि exist karta bhi hai, they have a feeling that यार ये तो 1-2 crore रुपया लग जाएगा. There will be an expense of 1 crore or 2 crores of sending students abroad, which they feel we cannot afford. They don't know that even in 20 lakh rupees, they can get 2 years education abroad. And there are certain programs which can give you lateral entry to a bachelor degree. It can give you lateral entry to a master degree. So there are many programs. So I think this, sector will evolve. And if you tell me about countries, so right now, if you tell me, Australia is very, very on the slowdown. So they were growing, when in 13 and 14, and then they restructured and Australia grew. But Australia have made a very, very good structure that they will take only these kind of students. So it is evolving in a structured way. And the international countries are taking students which they are looking at, the students will contribute in their economy. If you see a Trump statement also, he said that we don't want to send students abroad because back to their home country. They want to keep the talent so that that talent opens up businesses in US and increase the economy.
Correct.
If you tell me Elon Musk was also an immigrant, Elon Musk is also not US born. So
Yeah.
that is how US has grown. It is land of immigrants only. But US doesn't have any immigrant plan. US doesn't give you immigration. So it is evolving every day. It is evolving, and I'll tell you, it is a constant learning for us. It doesn't stop. It is like a doctor's job and it is like a software engineer job. Like you have to learn new methods every day. So every day, some country, US is coming with a new policy, Canada is coming with a new policy, Australia is coming with the new policy, UK is coming with the new policy. So every day there is an new policy, immigration policy coming up. So we have to track those things. And if you tell me any small consultant who's open up a shop and can guide students properly, my answer will be no. They cannot guide them properly.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what challenges do students and immigrants face today, and how is Landmark addressing those challenges?
See, the first challenge sometimes see our market is predominantly from small villages and towns students come. Now, some biggest challenges students face that from when they apply, they are not given clarity where they will study, what will be the outcome of the course, and how they can settle in that country. So that is the biggest challenge, and when they come through us, so we tell them that they are 99% of the time they are going to a public college. So there is no challenge of getting the education which is not be accepted when you do a job. And then there will be no problem that we'll share with them the outcomes. That suppose if you're doing a chemical lab technician course, so this is the job you will do. These are kind of the jobs you can get. So the outcome and the place of study is really, really important. And suppose the student is looking at settling in that country, then also these are the courses high in demand.
Correct.
So the small consultants are never able to clarify these things to a student or parents. They are only looking at money. So they are sending to a college which is giving them a higher commission, or to a private college which the education, what he will do will not be accepted anywhere. So
Right.
our biggest challenge is that. So the challenge is also to a student which is coming from villages and towns. The students coming from cities are well prepared, and they will not go to a consultant which does not have a knowledge.
Yeah. So Landmark is raising capital for setting up new branches and also for inorganic acquisition. So what are the key regions or segments that we are targeting for our expansion?
So region wise, we are looking at South India. So regions wise, we want to expand in South India, West India, and East. If you tell me predominantly cities, we are looking at Hyderabad, and we are looking at Kolkata. Major cities first segment, we are looking at Mumbai, and we are looking at Kerala. And these regions have lot of potential, and there, we do not have to, we do not have to make them understand that education is essential, international education is essential. Then in second, right, see, I'll tell you, Madhya Pradesh is also very, very lucrative right now. A lot of students are looking at education abroad, and then Uttar Pradesh. So
Okay.
then we're looking at Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh also. And if you
Okay.
tell me in organic growth, we are looking at acquiring few companies which are doing well in those regions. Suppose in South India, they're doing well. So it will be it will be beneficial for us to penetrate that market fast.
Correct. Correct. Yeah, makes sense.
So that is what we are looking at in the initial phase.
Okay. So are there specific partnerships or collaborations that we are pursuing to enhance our service offerings?
So I'll tell you, so there are, institutes in various countries where Landmark is exclusively working with them. And most of the public colleges in India, most of the public colleges abroad, they work on a shortlisting parameter. As I told you, there are 10, 12, 20 consultants in India. So if you tell me a public college who want to launch his admission process in India, then they will they will shortlist out of those 20 agents in India.
Okay.
They will shortlist out of those 20 agents. So if you tell me there is a university called University of British Columbia, which is like a Harvard of Canada, and then if they want to enter into Indian market, so they will only work with 4 or 5 agents, maximum 10 agents in India.
Yes.
So we do have, very, very good partners abroad in each of the countries, and we work really, really closely with those partners so that our admission process is also smooth. If we are giving students commitment that you are tend to get admission into particular institute, we make sure that students get admission.
Right. Sir, one more question. So, how do you see the ongoing India-Canada diplomatic relationship turmoil impacting our business?
I'll tell you, if you tell me it has impacted, definitely 9 to 10% there is decrease in our business. But we have gained more in other countries. If you tell me Germany has gained more, so that segment we have gained from Germany, we've gained from US being very, very positive about taking international students, and UK also. But the major gain has been in Germany. European countries have lot of, I'll tell you, learning to do in international student, and I feel Europe market will be a really, really big market for future.
Yeah, right. Sir, you've represented the company at global platforms. So,
Yeah.
how have those experiences influenced your leadership and also the company's direction?
I'll tell you, there is a event called International Conference for Education and Fairs, ISEF, which happens globally, which is happening in all parts of the world. So they do more than 24 events every year. So I participate in major markets like I've been participating in those ISEF events from past 10 years. So I'll tell you, like, there are very less consultants, and from past 10 years, I'll tell you, there were only 5, 7 consultants going to those events from India. And Right now, there are also 20, 30 agents which they take because they have a very, very stringent, shortlisting procedure of asking agents to come to those events. So I've been doing US, Canada, UK, and Germany events regularly from past 10, years. And now, after, COVID, they saw India as also emerging market, biggest market. I'll tell you, biggest market for students. So they were not doing event in India. So from past 2 years, they had started doing event in India also. So
Okay.
that has given us a big edge in bringing up new partnerships to Indian markets. A very big edge, from all in any market, it's a platform where universities and colleges will come, and they will meet consultants from abroad, not from India, all around global at one place. So it
Yeah.
has definitely given us an edge in bringing good partnerships to India. And then we are members of ISF. I told you we are members of NAFSA, which is an American institute. And then we are American International Recruitment Council called AIRC. So we are member of AIRC also. I am a Canadian course education graduate also. So there is a certain kind of course you need to do to guide students. So I have done that also. And then we are part of European Association for International Education. It's a EAIE. So we are part of that organization also to get updates and to be, always on the, as I told you, we have to learn every day new things and you have to be part of that. And there is a big education conclave is going to happen in March in India, API. It's the biggest education conclave happening in India where Indian universities and foreign universities will participate. So
Okay.
API, I am also participating in March, and that I feel that will also give an edge. So participating in these kind of conferences and being part of them makes you learn so many things which you cannot learn. So my
Mm.
part is always on the go. I'm always traveling. So that is really, really important. But that is very, very essential because I can tell my team that this is a new thing. This is how
Mm.
we can give scholarship to the student. This is the benefit for the student. So this place like Germany is exploding. So we have to send students to Germany right now. And that is, it is like a बेड़ चाल also. I tell you, कि student को लगता है यार जर्मनी अच्छा चल रहा है तो मेरा friend जर्मनी गया तो मेरे को भी जर्मनी जाना है. So that is always there. किसी का friend US गया तो उसको भी US से जाना है.
Sir, what has been the most rewarding moment for you in the 14 years of running Landmark?
So I'll tell you, there has been many moments, but we were like awarded by many institutes across the globe to be their number one partner. So we are number one partners for many, many institutes. And I'll tell you, the most rewarding, if I'll tell you, the president of a public college visited my office and gave me an award for being the top consultant.
Oh.
So that has been like a president, like he's
Mm.
the top shot. It is really, really, tough to meet a president. And I'll tell you, I have a cordial relationship with many presidents of public colleges and universities. So if you tell me the president of a public college visited my office, I didn't knew that he's coming to my office to give me an award. And he visited my college and gave me an award of a top recruiter. So that
Wow,
has
that's
been a
really
great
great.
moment for me. Yeah.
Yeah. So, where do you envision Landmark in the next 5 to 10 years, and how do you plan to achieve those goals?
So definitely, so we are looking at sending 10 to 15,000 students,
Hmm.
and we will be listed. So that is very essential for us. Growth is part of, always for a company. So if you tell me we have a vision to do 10 to 15,000 students a year. And if you tell me the whole market is very, very big, market for international education. It is, if you tell me international education, no, it is education. So it is an education is essential. If India has to grow, no doubt, India has a lot of growth potential, but we need people with experience and exposure. So
Yes.
there are a lot of foreign companies coming to India. So the students who are studying here, they don't have the exposure. So we need students who should have international exposure, and then they can come back and set up so many things, and they will be tend to do very well. So I'll tell you, so we are looking at 10 to 15,000 students a year in next coming years, and making India more experienced internationally is our vision.
Hmm.
Great, sir. Sir, last two questions from my side. who would be the biggest player currently in this particular industry?
Country wise, if you're telling me,
Yes, in India, who would be the biggest player in terms of?
right now, if you tell me, it's an IDP is the biggest player in our segment. IDP, which is a government Australian government company. It's not even an Indian company. So they take all the revenues to Australia. I don't know I am allowed to say that or not, but that they take major a share of their stake to Australia. So
And
IPO is an Australian government company, and they are owners of English testing. They conduct English testing tests.
got it. And do they enjoy such high margins? As in, just wanted to understand with scale, because if you see FY24, we have done around 30-31% PAT, which is phenomenal. So, do these bigger companies even come close to being having those higher margins, or with scale problems come in? How does that work?
But they are about 25% PAT.
Okay. So,
With
with
this kind of
scale,
scalability, yeah, they are about 25%
so
PAT.
margins are sustainable in this kind of an industry, is what I'm trying to
Definitely,
understand.
definitely, definitely. So because see, this is a service industry, we are not selling any product.
Okay.
So it is a service industry, and if your services are good, margins can be increased also.
Fair enough. I think you explained the entire business very well, sir. And if you, the closing comments would be like, if you could provide certain information about your IPO, when is it coming, how much money you all are raising,
Yeah.
and yeah, so certain closing comments from your side.
So our IPO is coming. We are listing on 23rd January, and the size of the IPO we are looking at raising 40 crores from the market, and that's predominantly that money will be used to opening up new branches, doing pan India marketing, and acquiring some companies in part of the India where we don't have presence. So those players which are doing well in that part of the country, we will be acquiring that. So that is an object clause for us. And I'll tell you, it is a very, very lucrative industry. Education is very, very lucrative, and we are looking at, as I told you, we are looking at increasing this education to Indian students, which is kind of an essential if India has to grow.
Fair enough. So it was great talking to you, and all the best for your IPO. And we look forward to meet again.
Thank you so
All the
much.
best, sir. Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank